So, do you have one more experiment? I was writing something and okay, I got it. I know. Thank you. You have started making notes. Yeah.
Fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, I am Saurav and I will be the sergeant now for today's meeting. Myself and my entire EC member welcome you all to the 496th meeting of Eloquent Toastmasters Club, Gurgaon. Toastmaster meeting is an MRP. Left side, please tell me what M stands for.
Mission.
And this side, please tell me what R stands for. What R stands for?
Rules.
Yeah, rules. And P stands for passion. Mission of our Toastmaster Club is to provide supportive and learning experience in which members are empowered to develop their communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Come to the rules section. The first rule is please turn off your mobile phones or put them on silent mode. For that, I will give only 5 seconds. Time is up. The second rule is as Toastmaster, we do talk about sex, religion, and politics in a derogatory manner. The last section is passion. The third rule is please do not cross talk. For online audience, please put yourself on mute. If you are not speaking, turn off your video if you are stepping out of the meeting. This would help to avoid distractions of our speaker. So that the last section is passion. Eloquent is fifth consecutive President Distinguished Club. Salute to the blood and sweat of EC members and EC who have worked tirelessly to make it happen. All the best speakers. Now I am handing the stage to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Dikshita. Over to you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Toastmasters and my dear guests. Welcome to meeting number 496. Can we hear some claps, please? Let's begin this meeting by welcoming a new member, Toastmaster Shilpi, who has joined our club. Now let's move to some well-recognized awards. In our club, we do have an award called Toastmaster of the Month. For this award, we basically assess all the members on the basis of the active participation they have taken during that period, like during a particular month. So for the October month, I'm delighted to announce that the award goes to the backbone of our club, VPN Education Toastmaster Prince. And before I begin the meeting, I can see 3 guests who have attended the meeting. So can we hear from our online guest, Sushmita, please? Can you unmute yourself, Sushmita?
Hello. Good morning, Toastmaster Dikshita.
Hello. Sushmita, can you introduce yourself?
Yes. First of all, thank you for having me and for this wonderful opportunity. I am, by profession, I'm an HR manager. I'm based out of Kolkata and I'm a part of Infinity Toastmasters Club, which is also a virtual club. And so about 8 months in Toastmasters, that's the journey that I have been. So still learning, still growing, and so it's always a great opportunity to, be a part of different clubs to see and, pick up the best from all of you. So thank you for having me once again and looking forward to the meeting.
Thank you so much, Sushmita, for your lovely introduction. Can we hear from our next guest, Manish?
Hi, everyone. My name is Manish. I am a lawyer of profession. I have been a master for many years, and I have also been a member of Eloquent. I will also its mentor.
Thank you so much, Manish, for joining us today. And can we hear from our last guest, Alinda?
Thank you, Toastmaster Dikshita. It's a privilege to come back again. Last week I was there in this club, and I come from a club which is a corporate club. It's called Innoverse Dynamo, a bit of tongue twister really. And I'm the president of that club, been a Toastmaster since a year. And as Toastmaster Shushmita has rightly said, being to different clubs gives a purpose of what is going well, which can be emulated and done in our clubs as well. So thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster. So let's now begin the meeting. Now let's begin the meeting number 496. Today, the captain of the ship is somebody who is basically working as a consultant in a MNC. She's basically a foodie and she loves to explore different places, but she's still contemplating about solo traveling and she's totally dependent on Toastmaster Rashmi for that. And she's somebody who believes that nobody becomes poor by being a kind person. So wherever and whenever it's possible, just be kind. That's as simple as possible. So let's give a big round of applause for Toastmaster Dikshita. Thank you, Presiding Officer Toastmaster Dikshita, for welcoming me and fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. Today the theme is the quiet pursuit. A couple of months back, I saw a quote. If you don't know what to do in life, pursue yourself. Pursue becoming the most confident, most healed, and most positive person, and the right path will follow itself. When I saw the quote, it didn't make any sense to me. Aren't we all pursuing ourselves? At least I am pursuing myself. I'm coming to Toastmasters regularly. I can have 3 meals in a day. I'm working and I have been paying enough to take care of all my needs. So I believe we all are pursuing ourselves in a way. Then after a couple of months, I was asked to leave my project. There was no communication and there was no plan B. There was no tatkal travel to temple. I was not asking my God, "Arey, kya ho gaya, kya ho gaya?" And neither I was making calls to other people I know to check whether they have a position for me in their particular project. At that moment, I took a pause. I booked my tickets and went back home. And I had no certainty like for how long. I just booked my tickets. I'm a follower of a famous saint, Sai Baba. He preaches 2 things, Shraddha and Saburi. Shraddha means devotion and Saburi means patience. And he clearly says in his book that surrender doesn't mean that you're losing control. It's understanding the fact that you never had control. Just one. So I repeat, surrender doesn't mean that surrender doesn't mean that you don't have control. It's understanding the fact we all never had any control. Now let me take a pause and explain you the agenda of the Toastmasters meeting. In Toastmasters meeting, there are 3 segments. First is a prepared speech, where all the speakers have to speak according to their pathways. Second is the table topics section, where the table topic master will give you topics and where you have to speak for at least for 1 or 2 minutes. And the third is the most important section of any meeting, which is the evaluation part. And without evaluation, we'll never know what is going right or what is going wrong in this meeting. So it's the most important part, as it will give an idea what went wrong and it will improve in areas where we can improve as a community. So now let's welcome Toastmaster Rashmi, who is playing the role of table evaluator. Imagine if you could travel back in time and fix every speech of yours, fix every phrase, fix when you stumbled, and maybe if you could have a strong closure in the end. That is what evaluation gives us. Evaluation gives us a chance to improve our every speech, to improve where we went wrong, embrace our strength, and work on our weaknesses. So I'm Rashmi Kondaria, your general evaluator for today's meeting. And as a general evaluator, I will observe the entire meeting at a broader perspective. I will reflect back on the areas of our strength and how we can embrace it, and what went wrong, where we can fix our mistakes and improve our next meeting and make it more powerful. And I'm not going to do it alone. I have a wonderful tag team with me. So I would like to call upon the stage Toastmaster Saurav, who is the timer for today. And Toastmaster Saurav, a quick intro about him. He is the security analyst at a startup, and he is crazy about exploring cybersecurity area, and he loves cooking. So if you want to learn more about cybersecurity, you know who the right person is. So over to Toastmaster Saurav.
Toastmasters, as I say, I am Saurav and I am a timer for today. My role is to help everyone manage their speaking time and ensure our meeting runs smoothly and on schedule. And I have a word also, great things take time. Nothing great happens in a rush. So let's honor time and grow into better speaker together. And in the meeting, there are 3 segments. The first segment is prepared speeches. The time duration will be 5 to 7 minutes to all the speakers. The second segment is table topic. The time durations will be 1 to 2 minutes. The last segment for evaluators, the time duration will be 2 to 3 minutes. And I have this 3 cards just like traffic light, green, yellow, and red. And there is some meaning. When I show green card, it means you are at the minimum time. And don't leave the stage before I show green card.
That's okay. It's okay.
I will show green card at minimum time, and when I show yellow card, this means you are in the middle of the speaking your speech, and at max time I will show red card. It means you have to wrap up your speech, and I will continue show the red card and develop it. And the last of the meeting, I will show my result to all the speakers, and yeah, all the best to the speakers. Yeah.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Thank you, Toastmaster Saurav, for your brief introduction. Next, we have our founder, Toastmaster Anurag. He is the seasoned Toastmaster and a very great evaluator as well. Today, he's taking up the role of our founder. He's an IT engineer by profession, and he works with a pharma company. He is from Jammu and has recently developed interest in stock market. So if you're thinking of becoming a millionaire or maybe a billionaire, you know who the right person is. Over to Toastmaster.
Thank you very much for the kind words, and it is putting pressure on me because I'm resigning after 2 months. Okay, my role here is as an accountant. So I will analyze how you are filling your filler space over there. Our natural tendency is we fill it with and we are using some repeated words. For example, multiple times over there. The best way is we can use the conjunctions and, but, however. And other option, you can take a little pause. That's it. So at the end of the meeting, when I'll be called upon, I'll share my report. And I take note of both the prepared speeches as well as the table topics. Thank you and over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anurag, for the brief introduction of your role. Next, we have Dramarian. She's the new member of our club. She works with Dyson. She lives in Gurgaon and she loves and enjoys reading. So let's call Toastmaster Shilpi to the stage.
Hi everyone. My role as a grammarian will be to evaluate the usage of the grammar. And I know grammar can be a bit scary. There is always a time when you fall short on grammar. So my role is going to basically feedback on the good usage of grammar, the good usage of words, and then take it as a feedback for everyone to improve on for the future. What I'm also going to do is introduce the word of the day. The word of the day I've chosen is elated, which means that I'm thrilled, I'm excited, I'm super happy. Essentially, that's how you can use. I feel extremely elated to be a part of the Toastmasters Club. This is just an example of how you can use the word. And the phrase of the day is bite off more than one you can chew, which basically means I've committed more than what I can fulfill. When I committed to hosting people at home and cooking myself, I think I bit off more than I can chew. So that's in a way you can use it like that. So that's the role that I'm going to play today. And when called upon, I'll share my feedback back to them. Thank you. Look forward.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shilpi, for the brief introduction. Just a quick reminder, whenever someone uses the word of the day or the phrase of the day, we have to acknowledge them by raising a thumbs up. So I feel elated for today's meeting and looking forward to all the amazing speeches and of course the table topic section. Now with that, I would like to hand back the stage to Toastmaster Dikshita. Thank you, Toastmaster Rashmi, for the beautiful explanation of your role and the tag team as well. So let's now start with the prepared speech section and let's call upon the first evaluator. And let's call upon Toastmaster Sushmita, who will be evaluating the speech of Toastmaster Rhythm.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. So my speaker today will be delivering a speech on the pathway presentation mastery level 1, project 3. And the speech objective is for the member to practice in the speech using vocal variety and a body language to enhance the speech. So with that, I hand it over back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
So today, the first speaker is basically from a small town near Ludhiana from Punjab. With a background in mechanical engineering, he works as a data scientist, blending analytical thinking with curiosity. Outside of work, he basically enjoys traveling and cherishes quality time with his family. So let's give a big round of applause for Toastmaster Rhythm. Toastmaster Rhythm, what's the priority? What's the priority, Toastmaster Rhythm?
Hello everyone. If I start by asking this simple question, what's your priority in your life? Incomplete question, isn't it? Now let me add some more context to it. What's your priority between money and relationship? Or what's your priority between money, relationship, and your health? I think all of us would want everything. But life is not so generous. Most of times, there is a conflict between, and you have to make a choice. You have to choose either consciously or subconsciously, but you cannot stay without a decision. And that is when the priority that you have in your mind comes into play and you act accordingly. I recently come across a very interesting story that I wanted to share with all of you. So this was story of
of someone I know very closely. So they were two brothers. They grew up together. They lived very happily. So every time they would eat together, they will travel together. And in their family gatherings, you will go and you can feel the warmth. They will all they have this ritual that they will do their dinner with everyone sitting on the dining table. But when I visited them recently, I observed that the warmth was missing. Just when I entered the house, there was an awkward silence that was telling something. I could not see people smiling in the house. I could not see children running happily. There was something. And on inquiring, I learned that they have recently faced massive losses in their business. But what it did, it leads to argument. So arguments slowly turns into differences. The young brother will ask the question to his elder brother about his decisions, but the elder brother will take it as an insult. So this result lead to a big difference between two brothers. The brothers who were like sugar in a tea, their bond was so strong, were certainly not even ready to face each other. And when I thought about it, I realized what is it that changed so much, right? Maybe it was financial difficulty, maybe it could be something. But at the back of their mind, it was the priority. For them, money was the bigger priority than their relationship. And that's what led to this big differences between the two brothers. And that is very common today. It's not story of just one household. Every other household, you'll find the same story. But then I also thought, is there a possibility that taught us or teach us that relationship has more importance than money? Or maybe health has more importance than money? So I stumbled upon this very simple thing, that happened in our country every year, but maybe we don't pay enough attention to it. I'm talking about Ram. So there is this very small incident or very small story from Ramayana which teaches us such a wonderful lesson, but we often tend to ignore the importance of it. I'm talking about the incident when Lord Ram was sent to exile and Bharat came back to Ayodhya. On knowing that he is becoming king, he wasn't happy. Instead, he was the most distressed person at that moment. He did not cherish those moments. Instead, he was feeling responsible for everything what has happened, despite he having no role in that. There is a story that continued. So after a few days, Bharat went to forest to get back Lord Ram and convinced him to get back to Ayodhya. So while walking through the forest, he went there barefoot. He went through a forest and there were small thorns in the forest which pierced into his feet. And when that happened, he stopped. He wept, he cried literally like anything. And everyone was surprised. Here was a man who wouldn't even budge with large wounds in a war, is crying so badly with such small thorns. One of his companions took the courage and asked him, said, "What happened? Why are you crying?" He sat back, "I'm crying because it's because of me that my brother had to go through this path. He would have felt the same pain that I'm feeling now." Such a pure bond, such a purity in the relationship that they had. And there is also a mention that when they finally met, they the the stones also melted. It's more of a poetic way to represent how the movement had been. But this in a way teaches us a very important lesson. I think when we start fighting over small money or maybe small issues, we also had historical evidences where people let go of big kingdoms and they prioritize their relationships and their family. And more importantly, when they let go of all the kingdoms, they weren't, it wasn't any regret in their mind that they are letting go of something. It was the acceptance that what they are getting or the relationships have more priority than the money or anything else. So that's why today we all have to ask this question. What's really the priority in our life? Maybe society has made up such a way that we all have started prioritizing more of money in our life, but we always have a choice. And always remember, you always have a choice, and you are the one who will decide what will be your priority. Thank you.
Wow, Toastmaster, what you speak. Indeed, priority actually makes a difference in our life. Totally depends on what we are giving value and what we don't want to give value. That totally depends on a lot of factors nowadays, but definitely priority means a lot to all of us. Now let's move on to the next speaker. And let's welcome evaluator Toastmaster Manish for evaluating the second speaker. Yeah. You can come here. You have space, right?
So our next speaker is pursuing the pathway engaging humor. He is delivering project 2 level 1 called Know Your Sense of Humor. The purpose of this speech is to develop a collection of humorous stories and start incorporating humor in his speeches. All the best.
Thank you so much. Our second speaker is from the city of Uttar Pradesh. He's a lifelong learner. His job is to talk to people and turn conversation into yes, which means he is into sales. Let's give a big round of applause for second speaker, Toastmaster Vivanshu. Toastmaster Vivanshu, Art of Influence. Toastmaster Vivanshu, Art of Influence.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deekshita. How many of you have worked so hard on your job, but still you are feeling that sometimes you are not valued in? Anybody? So it happens with all. And I used to be there once, like around 9 months ago. I was feeling like I need a break because I was consistently working from last 8 or 9 months, and I thought that I need a break. And I just wrote an email to my manager. I said that I want to take my leaves because I need a break and I want to work on myself. I want to reflect on my life. But I was expecting that he will be giving me the reply that yes, I see that you are a dedicated employee and you deserve a break. You should go. And but it didn't happen. I got a reply in the email after 2 or 3 days, and the reply was, your leaves are declined due to bandwidth. And he also added some other things. Although I am one of the top performers in my company, he added other things. Now your targets are increased. The same email, your targets are increased. You have to achieve these parameters. I thought, like, what is this man doing? If he is declining the leave, he could send at least like, we value you. Next time you can take the leave. That is all. Which I was expecting, like, even if you are declining at least, you should have mentioned the email and you should value my work and efforts. I felt like my work is unseen. I felt like I'm invisible in this company. I replied, thank you so much for not approving my leaves. And now I understand that I am here only to work and I'm not valued. Expecting that these people will reply to me and say, nobody, we value you. We value you. I was expecting like this kind of feeling that somebody will come to me, and around 2 to 3 days I waited. Nobody came. I surprised that when I'm working, am I truly working in the right place? I was confused in my mind. I went to one of my friend Keshav. I talked to him. I said, Keshav, yeah, my leaves are declined, and I'm feeling frustrated. What should I do? They even didn't reply on the email. My friend said, you're a sales guy. Go to your manager, talk to him, and say your thoughts. I get confused. I said, what are you saying? He said, yes, I'm saying truth. If you can sell any product, you can sell your thoughts. I said, how? He used to work in that company before me, so he was tenure than me. So that is why I went to meet him, expecting he would give me some ideas, but truly he gave me ideas. He said, he prepared my mind, whatever my managers will tell me. I went to him. I said, sir, I know that you declined my leave. I don't have problem, but I feel like you have not valued me. Because you are simply wrote the email, your leaves are declined. And now you're talking about the targets. You could have separately wrote a different email for the targets. Why are you writing the same thing? He said, by the way, Sunil is a guy who's an expert on communication. Right? I have not seen anybody like in sales like him, like a superstar. When he speak, he always turn no into yes. And I was sure like he will test my patience. Now I talk to Sunil. Sunil was looking into my eyes. He said, Meri Jaan, Meri Jaan, I want to show you something. He showed me a data. These are the 20 people whose leaves are declined. I was prepared in my mind. I said, okay. I totally agree that we cannot approve everybody's leave and we are in business. I use the sales approach. Whatever I'm doing with customers, now I was doing with this guy. I said, I totally agree that my leaves are declined. And even if I would be in your place, I would have done the same. But now I have a question. Whom will you whom will you give the leave? If somebody is ready from last 8 months, have never taken leave, will you give leave to that person or will you give the leave to the guy who is taking leave in every month? He said, I think the guy who has not taken leave from 8 to 9 months supposed to get leave and take a break. I said, okay, then see my data. I am not taken leave from last 8 months. He said, I think you deserve it. He said, but I have a question. He was also using the tricks and tactics of sales because he's expert. He's a boss. And he asked me, by the way, why do you need leave? And I understood that if I say like I need a reason, I want to go somewhere for a trip or something, he will say no. Then I said, I need a leave because there's my cousin sister's wedding and I have to be present there. He said, okay, can you bring marriage card? Can you bring a wedding card? No, there's no sister. There's no wedding. And he was looking into my eyes like this. Can you bring wedding card? And he was seeing my reaction, like how I will react. I said, yes. The dates, can you tell me the dates? I told him the dates. Randomly, something came into my mind, but tell these dates. So now it was fine. I told the story, but now the coming Monday, he asked me to bring the America. I became confused. I thought what to do because if I say truth, my leaves I can decline and he will say like you are ready. I said, if I use a little bit lie, why should I be silent? Let's make it very clear. I talked to one of my friends. I said like I need this kind of help, and he asked me to arrange a wedding card. I gave the wedding card to my manager, and he said your leaves are approved. My mission is complete. And then I'm not telling you this story because I want to tell you all that you should all laugh. The main role of this story is to tell you like you can use your thoughts, you can use your approach, how you can influence somebody who is already superior in conversation or in communication. So in my approach, what I use in this story, I first studied that person, like who he is, what kind of approach he might have. And the same approach we do with customers in real life. So art of influence is not just about telling lies, it's about studying person. Second thing, being creative and thinking out of the box. And sometimes the art of influence is not about just sticking with yourself. It's becoming more creative. And whenever I look at wedding card, I sometimes smile. And I think of that really art of influence sometimes comes with tricky moments. Thank you.
Thank you to Pastor Vibhashu for a wonderful speech. And now we know, in case we are not valued and our leads are declined, we must contact Pastor Vibhashu. He'll give us a lot of ideas. Okay, let's take 2 minutes because I think I forgot to give a moment to give the feedback to Toastmaster Rhythm's speech. So let's take 2 minutes and let's give feedback for Toastmaster Rhythm and Toastmaster Vibhashu. Simon, please take a vote of 2 minutes.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saurabh, for giving the track. Now let's call upon the evaluator of the last speech, Toastmaster Arindam.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Dikshita. My target speaker, Toastmaster Harsh, will be attempting his Level 1 P2 speech from the Pathway Presentation Mastery, writing a speech with purpose. The purpose of this project is to learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. Timer, kindly note that the speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Dikshita.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arindam, for explaining your evaluator role very well. So now let's welcome third speaker. He's basically an analyst at Deloitte. He's an engineering graduate. He loves to play badminton and swimming. He loves traveling, watching thriller movies. So let's pick a big round of applause for Toastmaster Harsh. Toastmaster Harsh, choose your battle wisely. Choose your battle wisely, Toastmaster Harsh. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Has it ever happened to you that you made an impulsive decision and it turned out to be a mistake and it cost you more than it returned? Raise your hand if it happened. In this slide, I would like to share an incident between me and my ex PG owner. The PG was quite good at that price, And I had a very good friend circle over there. Everything was fine until the owner decided to expand the PG. To commercialize the new capacity, he was constructing day and night, 24 hours a day. The problem was, of course, the noise due to the construction. During the day, I was in the office. But when I came back from the very hectic day, I needed rest, a peaceful sleep, which we all need. But all I was getting was noise. I could literally feel vibrations in my room, which was disturbing my sleep, which in turn was reflecting in my next day's performance. In short, my life was screwed. I tried to talk to the owner about the problem, which he ignored in the beginning. After pressing more and more, he started gaslighting me by saying, "Why you are the only one to complain? Why nobody else is complaining?" And frustration was building up inside me day by day. The suffering continued for a few days until that one random day when I came back late from the office and I noticed there was no construction, a complete silence. I was happy and surprised. I thought, let's not waste a single second and let's have a peaceful sleep after a long time. But at 2 a.m. in the morning or night, my sleep was broken due to a sudden noise that literally felt like an heart attack. I looked down my window and I saw two JCBs. And I realized that they did not stop the construction. They just started it late. I was angry and frustrated. Somehow the whole suffering felt really unfair. And I had to do something. My head was definitely not in the right state. Straight away, I dialed 112. To those who don't know, it's Gurugram Police helpline number, and I informed them about everything. To my surprise, they were really active. Within 10 to 15 minutes, they were on the site and they caught them red-handed, making the noise. And they scolded them. They noted the number of the PG owner. And after putting the noise to stop, they went away. But look at the audacity of these two JCB drivers. Within half an hour, they restarted the construction, thinking the police has gone and let's at least finish the job. I called police again, informed them the entire incident again. They came back again, catching them red-handed again. Now this time, they reacted very swiftly. As their authority was violated, they seized the keys of the JCB owners and they called the owner to come into site at 3 a.m. in the morning. And after that, what happened? I don't know. I was asleep, but the noise was over. My morning started with a loud bang on my door. It was definitely the owner who came with 5 to 6 people from his side, all of them having death stare in their eyes. This was the perfect plot of a South Indian movie. The only catch was I was not a hero who can defy all the laws of physics with one swing of his leg. And they started scolding me about why I complained to the police, the problems that was created for them the last night, the money they had to pay them to settle the matter, and followed a lot of heated arguments from both sides. They forcibly tried us to relocate to other room. Then thankfully, my friends stepped in between. They calmed down the situation and postponed the discussion to the evening. I was on my way to the office. While I was on my way to the office, they played a very dirty trick. They called my parents and they informed how their son was messing with the real estate mafias, the builders, those who have entire generations here. The owner said to my mom, संभाल लो अपने लड़के को इससे पहले हम लोग कुछ करें. And boom, it was a perfect atom bomb to my family. They were scared. Anyone would be scared. And coincidentally, it was a very important day at my office due to some deliverables. But I was getting calls from literally everyone, my parents, my relatives who are residing in Delhi NCR. They started commenting about how stupid my act was to mess with real estate mafia, especially to involve police in all these things. Some of them even advised me to take a hotel for 4 or 5 days for safety purpose. The noteworthy thing was, although I was on the right side, the Indian Law of Noise Pollution Act 2000, which prohibits construction after 6 p.m. in any residential area, was on my side.
Nobody was saying that my actions were justified. And I'm not complaining. All of them were my well-wishers. And maybe from their real life experience, they understood how naive and theoretical I was being the whole time. I already started regretting my impulsive action. It was definitely too much for me to take in that one particular day. In the evening, I completely surrendered. After negotiation, it was decided after 5 days I will leave the PG, and till then there will be no noise during the night. And thankfully, after a flat hunt, I was able to get a decent place. Life is back on track right now. But looking back, I realized that this whole incident killed a lot of my precious time. It disturbed my mental health and of my family. It hampered my work as well. So after like when this whole incident happened, uh, I have changed my attitude. When something I have decided if something similar happens, I will calm down. I will take a deep breath and I will analyze the risk to reward ratio. That is it worth it? This kind of situation can happen to any one of us in metro, in traffic, in office, sometimes even at home. But sometimes stepping down and getting away from these battles are not cowardice. It's called situational awareness. Courage isn't about fighting all the battles. You should be smart enough to know that which battles are worth your peace in the long run. So, because not all battles are worth fighting. So, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, choose your battles wisely. Thanks a lot.
Very well said message, Toastmaster Harsh. Choose your battle wisely. Indeed, in today's world, I think we should choose our battle wisely to maintain peace. So let's take a moment and give a feedback to Toastmaster Harsh. Can I please keep a note?
Which one is
Toastmasters.
I don't want to give credit to anybody else.
Choose your battle wisely. Thank you, Toastmasters all, for taking a note of the time. After listening to such incapable speakers, now let me ask you a question. Have you been a point in your life where you are unclear or you have faced any incident where you don't know what to do next? Anybody from the online audience, offline audience? Okay.
It actually during the time of first lockdown, actually I lost my job. And actually I was kicked out from one job. And I was trying many interviews, but I was failing. Many thoughts came like maybe you should go back to home, but since I took a decision that I will not go back to home easily, I didn't go back, and I was puzzled for many days, to be honest. Then I got a job, and still I was puzzled because the salary they offered me was pretty low and a lot of headache.
Thank you, Toastmaster Devanshu, for sharing your story. Anybody else would love to share your story when they are stuck in any situation, they don't know what to do, like how they handle the situation? Panic button, or you just went with the flow? Anybody else from online audience? Okay, Arinda, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, most of the times, in case if there's a situation like this, it do happens. So what I do is probably I just sit down. I am a big lover of music. I listen to music. It helps to declutter my mind and then give a fresh perspective to its meaning. So this is how I usually de-stress along with, let's say, music as well as with friends. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Arindam. Yes, music actually helps us to soothe our brain and actually help us to function better, I feel. So let's hear from Toastmaster Chip.
So many times it happens that you're in the midst of working. So it happens that you're in the midst of thinking through something, making a presentation, and you have a big meeting to look forward to, and you're trying to put your thoughts together in a presentation. That happened with me like a couple weeks back, and it's just not happening. Like you're thinking, but you're not able to put it through. So I was not. So what I did at that point in time is I just shut my laptop off. I just thought I was just going to let this be for now. It's not helping me anyways. So I went down for a walk, just take a round, and I just wind up my day. But I'm going to look at it early in the morning. That's the time I think best. So what ended up happening is that you just let that be at that moment, and the next morning it actually worked brilliantly. Like I would have spent 4 hours in the night versus it was like a 45-minute job for me in the morning. I think when that happens with me and I'm not able to think through further or don't know what to do, sometimes I just leave it. I just leave it for the moment, for some time yesterday.
Thank you, Toastmaster, for sharing the lovely story. And it actually emphasizes the fact that sometimes we just have to go with the flow. Because in case we're thinking too much or putting too much pressure on us, it doesn't help. So it's better to be just go with the flow. So in my case, when I was rolled off from the project, I just did one thing. I started journaling, not about my project, not about my life. I was not manifesting. I started journaling every day about my day-to-day activity. So one action, one habit, and I was showing for myself. I realized that all these years I was chasing goals without building any system. So I think life reminded me sometimes we just have to put a pause. And success doesn't come from chasing goals. It comes from building habits. So I shifted my focus, not on looking for a job or for a project. What I did, I became more grounded, more mindful, and more intentional. So keeping a track of everyday things that's happening, I started gratitude journal, whatever has happened couple of years back, maybe a couple of months back, so that I can feel happy. So at that moment, I decided to be happy, whatever the situation next is. So let's take like 5 minutes break and we can resume after 5 minutes. Let's start by 12:30.
Okay, I will.
Stop.
Break.
Stop, right?